everyone, it's Pam and welcome to another tutorial for Del Belle's Designs. Today we're going to be making this Believe in Magical Things card, which is a reminder to believe in what seems like the impossible. Let's go ahead and take a look at the supplies that we'll need to make this card. Let's go over the inks and tools that we'll need to get started with this card. We're going to work with Distress Oxide inks in Squeezed Lemonade, Salvage Patina, and Peacock Feathers. I have a blending brush for each one of those. You do not have to have a blending brush for each one. You can have one for each color family. It's up to you. We're also going to be using some Versafine Clair inks in Morning Mist and Nocturne. And we'll need a blending brush for our Nocturne ink. Next, for some glitter and sparkle, we're going to need Starbright's Mermaid Blue glitter from Lavinia Stamps. And it's a really pretty glitter. It has chunky glitter in it and it has fine glitter in it mixed together in two different colors. We're going to apply this using a quickie glue pen, and we're going to use a glitter brush or makeup brush to wipe off the excess. We're also going to use a Lavinia Mysticals in Bumblebee and just a fan paintbrush for splattering. We're also going to be working with some pan pastel and titanium white, and then I just have a makeup sponge for applying that. For some small details, we're going to be using a Posca pen in yellow, a Zig clean color brush in natural gray, gray tint, and then a white jelly roll pen. We're going to need a 5 1/4 by 4 inch sheet of watercolor cardstock from Lavinia Stamps. And then we'll also need this top folding A2 card, which is measured at 8 1/2 by 5 1/2 and scored at 4 1/4. For our stamps, we're going to need LAV 680, which is Silhouette Grass, LAV 485, which is See a Fairy Make a Wish, and LAV 034, which is Fairy Wish. We're going to need LAV 657, which is Tree of Courage, and LAV 658, which is Tree of Hope. We'll also need this feather leaf stencil set from Lavinia Stamps, and we'll need these sentiment stickers, which is number 6, the Uplifting Collection from Lavinia Stamps. Now that we've got our supplies, let's go ahead and get started on creating our card today. We're going to start off our card today with a sheet of Lavinia Stamps watercolor cardstock, and I have cut it down to 5 1/4 inches by 4 inches. And this will be our card panel that we'll be working with. We're going to do some Distress Oxide ink blending. So we have Squeezed Lemonade, Salvage Patina, and Peacock Feathers. If you don't have these exact colors, that's okay. Just some type of bright yellow, a light teal, and a darker teal color. I'm going to start off with my Squeezed Lemonade. We're going to be using this Fairy Wish stamp, and we're going to want to make sure that the glow that we create with our Squeezed Lemonade Distress Oxide ink will cover the entire image. So I'm just kind of getting an idea of how far out I need to go, kind of like up to here and up to the side. So I'm just going to go ahead and start with that, and then I can check it. So I'm applying it right in the middle of my cardstock and moving my way down. And now I'm going to move my way outward. It's like I'm creating a bubble for our fairy. And it's okay to go out a little bit further than you need to, because we're going to overlap some of that yellow with our light teal color. All right, so we can take our stamp now. Just make sure that she's covered. I think that looks good. So go ahead and use our Salvage Patina. Start off on the side and work our way around the yellow bubble that we created. Right now I'm just laying down the color, and I just have a paper towel here to hold my panel down as I rotate it around. And what you actually can do is you can go ahead and fill the rest in with that Salvage Patina. And then we'll overlap it with some peacock feathers around the edges. Go back to my squeezed lemonade, and then I can start mixing the two colors together, and you'll get this light green color. It's actually really pretty green when you put yellow and teal together. Now we can go in with our peacock feathers. So I'm going to go in a little bit on this corner. For the rest, just kind of do it on the edge. Go back with my salvage patina to blend those two together. And I'm just going to line my stamp up again and make sure we have a good amount of area there. Looks good to me. So now I'm going to do some ink lifting using water. And I just have this feather leaf stencil from Lavinia Stamps. And I'm just going to place it so there's an edge that goes all the way around my panel. So the details I'm going to add with the water is going to be very subtle. So I'm just going to basically spray, then use a paper towel to lift the ink. I'll do it first through the stencil, and then I'll remove the stencil and get the rest of it and see how that looks. So I just sprayed a little generously. And I'm going to remove my stencil. Pick up the rest. And then I'm going to heat set this because this is where you're going to see it the most. Okay, so I'll show you a little closer up so you can see that detail in the background is very subtle, but it just adds a little oomph. So next we're going to do our stamping, and we're going to start with our fairy. So I'm going to just place her right in the middle of that glow. We're going to use some Versafine Clair in Nocturne. This is why I love using the Misty. If I don't get it completely covered the first time, I can go in and do it again. And that looks pretty good. I'm going to move this up just a little. I wanted to try to do a little bit of a moon in the corner, which is going to be opposite of where I'm going to have my sentiment, just to kind of balance it out. And I've just put some pixie spray on the back of this circle mask and put it up in the corner. And I'm just going to use some of this peacock feathers, whatever's left on here, to create a little bit of an edge. That'll make it look like there's a moon right there. Nothing too much. Okay, and then just blend that out a little bit. And then I have the other piece of this mask, which I'm going to layer on top. And I'm going to use some pan pastel and titanium white to just lighten up that corner. Just tap, tap, tap. We're just going to remove that. And then we've got a very subtle moon. It's going to be covered up a little bit by our tree anyway, but I just kind of wanted it in that background. We're also going to do some text behind our girl and fairy, and this text is, "See a fairy, make a wish," and it reads, "Believe in magic as fairies do, and they will appear to watch over you. They dance in the flowers and sing songs of love, spreading joy and laughter from stars above. They skip through the forest in the bright moonlight. Childhood memories appear to light. See a fairy, make a wish, a magical moment, a dream to cherish." So that's why I kind of felt like I needed to bring the moonlight in, because it does say it in the little poem. And for this, I'm going to go in with my Morning Mist in Versafine Clair. And I'm actually going to stamp it off a few times before stamping it over our girl and fairy. That way it gives an appearance as if it really is in the background and not in front of her. You could have done this before stamping your fairy. For me, it didn't make a difference either way. So I'm just use this paper towel. And there you can see that it really, because of the black, appears like it's in the background and not on top of our girl and fairy. All right, and this is why we put our card panel in the middle, so that we have room for our trees on the sides. It's also why you should use a big Misty if you're going to use one. And I basically just want this to kind of surround her. And for this, we're going to go in with our Morning Mist Versafine Clair ink. I don't want this to take the attention away from our darkest images in the middle. So that's why I chose this ink. Put our magnet on the other side. And use our morning mist again. Now if you want, with the Tree of Hope, you get this extra little branch stamp. So if you wanted to extend these so that they touch, you could do that. I'm not sure yet if I'm going to do that or not, but we could. All right, next we're going to go in with our silhouette grass and just add some grounding here. And this we can do in black. So we'll use our Nocturne ink. What I'll probably do is I'm going to fill this in a little bit more when I do my shading of black around the outside. For our grass, I'm going to go in with a little bit more detail using this natural gray Queen Color Real Brush marker and add some more grass just where I want it. I'm just kind of swiping it up. You can also do the other way, do it upside down and swipe downward, whichever way works best for you. Sometimes I feel like this way works better. You even go with a lighter gray, which I have gray tint here. I'm not going to show too much. So I'm going to go ahead and heat set this real quick. Now I'm going to take our blending brush and just go in with some of our pigment ink, at least in the bottom, to frame this in more. Let's see what that looks like. You could add some around the edge, but because we're putting a black mat behind this, I think I'm going to avoid doing that. So we can really let just these colors be our focus. All right, so I've got some Lavinia Mysticals in Bumblebee. I'm going to use this to add some shimmer to my panel. Gotta shake it up good so that there's no mica left on the bottom. So I've just got a fan brush from my stash, and I'm going to spray some of this onto my work surface. Let's go ahead and we're going to dip our brush in. Dip, 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 dip. And then just tap it onto our card. If I bring this up, you can see all that shimmer. And go ahead and heat set this. Next, we're going to add some glitter to our fairy wings. And I just have a quickie glue pen and the Star Brights glitter in Mermaid Blue that we're going to use. And just try not to do too much. Try to just stay in the lines as much as you can. And I've got my coffee filter here. I'm just going to pour the glitter on top. Give it a chance to stick. Pour the excess onto my coffee filter. And it looks like we have a ton of extra. I'm going to go in with a makeup brush or a glitter brush. And anything that's not sticking to glue is going to come off. So we just got our fairy wings there. Alright, I'm going to use this yellow Posca pen to add in some fairy lights. And then I'm going to go in with a white gel pen. Also going to go in and fill in our trees with the gray tint marker that we used earlier. And then we're going to add our sentiment, which is going to be believe in. So I'm taking believe in yourself and magical things. For believe in yourself, I'm going to cut off yourself. And then I'm going to mat these on a strip of scrap black cardstock just to make the sentiment pop a little bit more. If you have it in black, you could do that too instead of white. And this just happens to be a 1/4 of an inch wide piece. I have some black strip foam tape. Because it's black, it's gonna hide behind my sentiment so you can't really see it. And so I said that I was going to balance out our card panel here by putting these on the opposite side of where the moon is. I'm just going to put it kind of lopsided. Just because I think it adds some additional interest, especially when you've got this text in the background. Kind of almost looks like the storybook scene. Okay, next we're going to go ahead and mat this. And I have a sheet of 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch black cardstock. I'm just going to put adhesive on the back of our card panel. And line this up in the center of our black cardstock. So now we've got that mat here, and you can see we really didn't need to add black all the way around because we've got it in our mat. So I just have this top folding white card base, which is 8 1/2 by 5 1/2 scored at 4 1/4. I'm going to use this front piece that I happen to get some black on. Just put adhesive on the back of our card panel. And then adhere this to our card. I've got a little bit extra here on the edge, so I'm just going to use some scissors to cut it off. I would use my paper trimmer, but with the foam sentiment, it's going to be hard to get it where I need it to go under the guard. So this pretty much finishes our card today. And it's just a reminder to believe in magical things, believe in the things that you think are impossible, because you never know what's truly possible. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this. Thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you guys next time. Bye!